Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. From the gun, he'll hand this off. On a determined run there as he's going to take this all the way down near the 40. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
Here's a 2nd and 8. To throw is Nix. He sets to fire deep. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Keely Ringo picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 30-yard line. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. Well, a nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the 1st. Here's McCarthy. They're looking for Jefferson, but this is intercepted. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching a bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. And not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Throwing Nix. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. Working out of the gun is Nix. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they talk it over, we step aside. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're going. It's Nix. And that's going to be incomplete. Boy, a real head-scratcher there. And the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And a really good show of force there as he gets through for 4 tough yards.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Hands it off out of the gun. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And that's a nice pickup of a first down on that second down run. And at that yardage gained, they can run that play on any down.
Looking to throw McCarthy. And he's got this to Jefferson. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
And strong running there as he's inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. 2nd and 5 from the 8. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And that'll move him a little closer as he takes it from the 7 down to the 4-yard line. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. They'll try to run this one in. And he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great play there. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Vikings have moved out in front. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 21-14. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no chance to see a return on the dynamic kickoff. They'll move this out to the 30-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
Charles, we know that this offense is aggressive. We saw that last drive. They went for it on 4th down, didn't get it. Then they give up the touchdown. So now you feel like they really need to respond here.
They certainly do, but let's face it. Sometimes when you take that risk, you understand if you fail, a little more onus goes back on your ball club to try and pick themselves back up.
The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I tell you what, when you're down on the scoreboard, you've got to look to your stars, and that's what they do here to start the drive. I wouldn't be surprised if they looked his way a few more times in short order. That one, well designed, and it's a quick first down.
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6. But he continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure, and these sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
2nd and long. He's going to float this over the middle, deep.
Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. Picked off by Christian Fulton. And the Vikings are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Now McCarthy. That's going to be taken in by Downs.
And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. Here's a give up the middle. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the 1st half. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Back to throw. McCarthy. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Now the Broncos are going to call the 1st of their timeouts.
So as they talk it over, we step aside.
Well, they had the right down and the definite distance to take a shot downfield, but it didn't work out the way that they had envisioned.
No, that's a situation where if you take a sack close to the line of scrimmage, it's not that bad, but a loss like that, you can't take a sack there.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing you cannot do, they did.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
This offense in mid-season form here in the opener. It's 1st and 10.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Now the Broncos will use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
Second down and 4. Jefferson going to go in motion right. Now a quick throw into the hands of Jefferson.
And down inside the 10 here before he's out of bounds right around the 7. The 6 yards on the pickup, and it leaves him with a 1st and goal. A few moving pieces on that play because that was an RPO, was it not?
It was, but one important piece that didn't move incorrectly, the offensive line. Because when you're running this play, as he continued down the line of scrimmage, sometimes the lineman can wander downfield. And if you're more than a yard downfield, it's illegal to throw the football at that point. But they held their ground, held their spot, and turned it into a nice game.
And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. And his kick is indeed good. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. But they already had the early lead, and they get the interception, Charles, and now they add 3 more with the field goal.
Yeah, they're in control of how this game is playing out so far. You mentioned the early lead. Now they're expanding on it, getting plays on both sides of the ball. A winning recipe if they can keep this up.
Yeah, he is going to dive to the turf. Boy, a strange return there. And they're going to start with really terrible field position. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. 1 second, all that remains. The final shot before break. Nix, flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. Wow, and that is incomplete. First half in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. He's past the 30. He will score. Touchdown, Minnesota. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
So now the other return teams out there, as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw.
Taking it about the 1. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Throwing to start the drive. Nix. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And this is caught inside the 5. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A big play there. 51 yards. yards. And the Broncos get a bit closer. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. Oh, Walker showing the power. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. This now a 10-point game, so things tightening a little bit after that last score. Working out of the gun is McCarthy. Oh, the turnover fest continues. Here's another interception. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, third quarter, but that, not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now, if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Nix from the shotgun. And he slides and covers up at the end. This is going to be able to pick up decent yardage. So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. Nix to the air. And his throw is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. A 3-yard gain and enough for the 1st down.
So it's pretty simple, partner. You pick up a turnover, set you up in excellent field position. The last thing you want to do is go 3 and out in this spot.
Yeah, they would have had to settle for a field goal attempt, but now they keep those touchdown hopes alive. To throw, here's Nix. He'll get that out to the flat to White. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
And that's a nice job of working his way open down in the red zone. Looked that one in and then made a beeline for the pylon. He didn't quite get there, and you wanted to give him a little extra for the effort, but instead he sets his guys up in excellent shape for the 1st and goal.
White will take it in. Touchdown, Denver.
Sometimes offense can get too cute down near the goal line, but there's nothing fancy about this one. As Coach Lombardi would say, we get a seal here, and we get a seal here, and we run this play in the alley. And that's good work to hit the hole hard and finish in the end zone.
The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Their lead down to a field goal now as they start with a 1st and 10. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all. They work now on 2nd and 9.
1 yard gain. Brings up 2nd and 9.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it.
And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
Picked up by Devin Witherspoon.
And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
So, my goodness, I wouldn't have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the second half. I just wonder on the other side of the field, where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They got to go back out there and play.
And he edges forward, but only gets a pair of yards out of it, and it's 2nd down.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
Flushed out right. And he wisely will throw that one away. A misconnection there. He's hit on just 50% of his passes thus far. That's not where you want to be.
Now you see the evolution of the game. You go back to the quarterbacks of old, 50% would be terrific because they threw the ball downfield almost every time they threw it. Now with the short passing game, you should be above 60% just to be in the average range.
They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The offense going to stay out there. They've converted once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th down?
They'll go for it. Here's Nix. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone.
And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. A great effort there. 38 yards.
And the Broncos have retaken a 3rd quarter lead.
Extra point splits the uprights, and that will make this a 4-point game. The Broncos kickoff unit out there to kick this one away.
Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch.
But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Broncos are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Boy, Charles, that is now 3 interceptions in 3 consecutive drives, and you can see he's just got a look of disgust and bad body language, understandably, as he walks off the field.
And I think it comes from the fact that he's not sure what he sees down the field, Brandon. I don't know if he's seeing ghosts. I don't know if he just can't read defenses. I'm not sure what it is, but that's why he's frustrated. Think about the defense right now. Every time they run on the field, they've gone from hoping to intercept a pass to expecting to intercept passes. Their confidence at an all-time high right now. Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Off the play fake, here's Nix.
Rolling to his right. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. And the Vikings are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 24-yard line. So this offense moving the ball well, trying to open up a 2-score lead here in the 3rd quarter, but now potentially a play that could have big ramifications.
Yeah, you've driven the ball down the field. Things are looking up, but it takes just one bad decision to throw things off the rails.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. 87 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Right back to him on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Looking to throw. McCarthy. And he fires one incomplete. Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance.
Touchdown, Vikings! Justin Jefferson, 64 yards. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Here now, 2nd and 4. Here's Nix. Escaping the pressure right. Looking for White on the deep ball. And this is caught. Touchdown, Broncos. Rashad White with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Broncos have answered back with a third-quarter touchdown of their own to retake the lead. Extra point right down the middle. And that will make this a 4-point game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he's loose again. Touchdown, Vikings. That's an 83-yard kick return touchdown. And the Vikings have moved out in front here in the final minute of the third quarter.
Again, Elvin Barton, I get fired up. 2 kickoff returns for touchdowns in the same game. This is fun to watch.
Yeah, we call a lot of games at a lot of different places. Sometimes it seems like we do it simultaneously, but we rarely get to see this. Extra point splits the uprights, and that gives them a 3-point lead. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The Broncos take over first and 10. Their own 27-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
That was well played, but that was also an example of a corner who understands his coverage, realized he had support behind him, and could be a little more aggressive in the shorter zone, and did exactly that, knocking that pass away.
2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Now it's Nix.
And he comes back with one complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Back to throw now on first down. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Vikings will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
So their woes on offense continue. That's the second pick thrown here in the third quarter.
And we know it was ill-advised, but that was an opportunity to help them get back into the game. Instead, he throws another interception, and now their task is even tougher.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway.
They'll start in excellent field position following the INT.
They'll start on the ground here on first down.
And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line.
We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Well, some good games around the league here early in Week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10.
To the air with McCarthy.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. They'll give him 4 yards there, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
2nd down and 6 now from the 42. In motion right is Addison. Throwing is McCarthy.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd and 5.
Oh, what a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. He had the touchdown earlier. This one's going to get him a first down.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
Back to throw. McCarthy. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Vikings will add to their 4th quarter lead. Point after, right down the middle. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
From his end zone, Marvin Mims. And he probably wishes he would have sat on that one. Instead, he's only able to get this up beyond the 15-yard line. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit.
And he'll be out of bounds near the 30. In fact, right on the 30. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
Well, every drive from here out is definitely crucial and critical. They know that they need to get at least 3 here to get it back to a 1-score game. But I can't imagine that in their huddle that they're thinking at all about getting a field goal. They want to get into the end zone and then try and get the ball back again.
And he's got his man on the out route. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception.
Keely Ringo picks it off. Down the right sideline.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner. And I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Gotta be careful. They're looking to get it going.
Extra point right down the middle. That'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of here as they trail big in this 4th quarter.
Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
Buying time to his left. Now he's going to send this one deep right side. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Here's 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
He's going to take another shot here.
And he's just throwing the ball up for grabs now. Fortunately, that one going to fall incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
This is certainly a team that has proven it likes to target its backs through the air and defensively. They were aware of that and certainly were prepared on that throw.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Forced out to his left. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
Coming up on the final 2.5 minutes. And boy, has it been fun to watch this offense operate. Quite the display, and now they look to polish it off.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Second down and 8.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been near perfect. 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6.
Throw out right, pulled in by Downs.
And now here comes the 3rd of their timeouts defensively. So they'll be left with only the 2-minute warning to stop it from here on out.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. This one angles out of bounds at a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Denver offense at the line, ready to go. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out, because now it's not a total loss, because as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnel. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
He's got his man. It's White. Strong running at the 30.
And he will be taken down, but it is a huge play there to flip field position. And they'll be on the other side of the field as we have reached the 2-minute warning. To throw is Nix.
Eluding the pressure right. And this turns into a nice gain with a slide at the end.
Now a 1st and 10 at the 11. Throwing Nix.
Steps away to his left.
An off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A hit as he throws there, incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that when he's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
They're going. It's Nix.
Quick hitter here. It's complete. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And this is really the start to the season that you're hoping for if you're a coach or a player. They've got the big lead here in the 4th quarter, and now can really take some time off the clock. And he fights forward for a modest 2-yard gain, 2nd down.
Well, not a game that you're going to go crazy about, but when you start at your own 2-yard line, any type of space is good for the offensive guys.
Yeah, you just can't go backwards from here. They did it. Now we'll see if they can keep it on schedule here on 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
On 3rd down, they're going to run for it here. And they're able to corral him right around the 8, and that's short of the 1st down. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves him with a 4th down now.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
And here's Ryan Wright now,
as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time.
Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for week 1, and one of our early window games here in week 1 on a Sunday comes to a